This is an M-rated game, so viewer discretion is advised. Evil Inside. Have you ever played or heard of the game PT? It's made by Mr. Kojima. It basically had you keep walking inside of a loop inside of a house. But it was spooky to play. You can't download it anymore, which is unfortunate. The creators of this game for sure played that game and said, what if we could make this a lot stupider? It feels like someone took the pre-made assets from the Unity store and made a game for a class project. It was never scary and even put up some nonsensical jump scares. It was too goofy to be scary whenever it popped up. Honestly, I found the letter to be scarier than this game, and that title was awful. The story is that your mother was killed and your father was sent to prison for it. Now you have to look after your baby brother and try to move on with your life. At least that's what you should do. Instead, you make the insane choice to contact your dead mother for some reason. He actually calls up his friend and asks him, "Are you in contact with the afterlife?" Like that's a totally normal thing to say. To his credit, the guy just says yes, and what do you need? He says it in such a nonchalant way, like it's as simple as going to get gas. Your friend gives you something to contact your mom, and it blows up, and you wake up in your hallway. Here's where it's going to be problematic showing you the footage. It's just the same areas over and over again, so it's going to be kind of boring to look at. They do unlock some of the rooms in the house, so it does change some things up, but this game is not very long. Maybe an hour to beat at best. I had to restart my game once because I was sure it was broken, and I sped back through as fast as I could. I knew where all the trigger points were, so I pretty much got back to where I was pretty quickly, only to have the same issue. The game would just not let me pick up the ringing phone. Apparently you had to fulfill certain internal triggers or programming flags, however you want to think about it. And if you missed one, you just couldn't do the action, even if it's as simple as picking up a ringing phone. I did eventually find the trigger I needed to use in order to pick up the phone. It was just bull. Here's an idea for the creator of this game. How about if we don't fulfill the requirement of this loop, you don't let the phone ring? It was extremely confusing why my character couldn't pick up a phone. Your character will move so slowly down this hallway. You can go faster if you hold down one of the shoulder buttons. But when I mean faster, I mean slightly faster. Almost unperceivably slightly faster. This guy is seeing ghosts. The world is changing around him. And he's trapped in what feels like an infinite time loop. And he's just shuffling down the hallway like someone has taken away his toys. And he's sulking away because he's upset. He hardly shows any emotion that he's trapped in this loop. It's like another Tuesday to him. Now there are a couple puzzles in this, and they're not very hard. Plus in each loop there are optional collectibles to find. But since it's in the same place in every loop, it's not exactly a challenge to find. The one positive thing I'm going to say about this is that it's fully voice acted. Sure, the dialogue feels like they got some guy on Fiverr to say the lines, but they did more than they needed by not just having text on the screen, as they try to put some emotion into the characters by letting us hear them. So thumbs up for that. Evil Inside is not a good game. It thinks that jump scares are a good substitute for gameplay, and it never is. Also, the problem is that the jump scares are about as scary as your neighbor's Halloween decorations. Your character moves too slowly, and it really drags down any enjoyment you might have with this, because you would often have to go from one side of the room back again to fulfill the programming flags to finish this loop. I think you should just skip this. There really isn't anything here worth recommending. It's not scary, and you move like a sloth. If you're looking for a PT type game, I don't know what to recommend you get, but for sure it's not this.